Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. And today, I want to give you guys some highlights of the stream, while also giving you guys my summarized conclusion of what's going on with the markets right freaking now. So without further ado, what I think is going on is an increased amount of fear caused by manipulation. Let me explain. I firmly believe that one of the biggest things that's going on right now is fear for the Bitcoin hash rate going down. In other words, fear of China's crackdown on crypto. And it can't be denied. I mean, China is literally cracking down crypto, and we are seeing a lot of people, pools, companies move from China right as we speak. Yesterday, we were covering that one big company is moving to Maryland in the United States. Here we're seeing that the world's fifth largest mining pool, and also the website most people used for tracking, is actually moving from China to Kazakhstan. Now, what can I say about that? It's a pretty interesting deal, but the question that should pop up is it bad? Well, let's further check out some other news that came around. One of the things which we saw was this right here. Alipay and Chinese Central Bank form the anti-Bitcoin alliance. This is definitely something scary, depending on how you look at it. I look at it from the perspective of, these guys, China, is creating a CBDC, a central bank digital currency, and they don't really want any competition. And they're working with the biggest mobile payments companies. Here you can see other participants include the Fujian-based industrial bank and Alipay, a subsidiary of the financial tech giant Ant Group. Together with WeChat Pay, owned by Tencent, Alipay accounts for over 90% of China's mobile payments market. Conclusion? Well, they're working together to just get Bitcoin out of there, because that's literally their mission. That's literally what they're trying to do. Cut off all transactions and all links to Bitcoin and other crypto as Beijing continues its crackdown. But once more, the question should pop up, is this bad? It is always debatable, but I'm definitely going to say, no, it really isn't that big a deal. Yet, if you check the narrative, which we can see if we look at, for example, the fear and greed, people are really scared right now. People are really, really extremely fearful right now. And I think that has to do with two primary things. One, you're hearing about this China situation, left, right. And two, you're hearing about people complaining about China and complaining about the price going down, left, right. One thing I think it could add there is some of the people over on Twitter, some of the people over on the interwebs like YouTube and whatnot, talking about further crashes together with obviously the ever declining Bitcoin price. And right now, Bitcoin closing below the 21 weekly EMA. We saw a death cross happening. We saw people talk about, Bitcoin going down. And there were many people saying Bitcoin can never go below $30,000. And once it did just now, more people got scared. Now, I have said in one of the previous videos and even in the live stream as well that I believe most crypto analysts, most technical analysts are not necessarily con artists, don't get me wrong, but I am saying that they will just go with the flow, which means most people will tell you a story which sounds proper. I firmly believe here that we cannot know if this level that we just hit was the lowest which will go. Why? Based upon what I just told you. We're hearing a lot of China FUD. We're hearing a lot of just this mining FUD. We're hearing a lot of just anti-Bitcoin stuff. But is it bad? It's the question I asked. Well, really, think about it once more. It's literally not a big problem. We heard everything from China a couple of days ago, a couple of weeks ago. Why is the price still going down? Are you saying electricity concerns? Bitcoin electricity concerns? Really? I mean, Bitcoin electricity was a big deal for the last years. Why all of a sudden? Because some regulation could be coming in for that? Yeah, but people don't really react to possible regulations without any further allegation. No, rational people don't react to that. So if we then kind of match that off against all the news which has come out over the last couple of days, talking about all the good things like we're seeing on Twitter, Michael Saylor put it up here with a really interesting tweet. In the last 12 months, Bitcoin has arrived on Wall Street. This is a post from yesterday. That is the news, the rest is noise. Think about that for a little second. I'm going to not tell you guys that you should buy crypto right now because, again, that's not my place, not my point. What I am telling you is I am buying crypto for the reason that it is getting some massive adoption as we speak, and I firmly would believe that a lot of banks are afraid of it. We're seeing an increased amount of banks enter the space, increased amount of banks work with it, but the thing is, the fun thing, Bitcoin was kind of anti-bank system. Banks have a single ledger. Bitcoin is the first system to get this decentralized system, decentralized, I guess, ledger system, let's call it like that, going. So literally, it's something that's changing the way that banking works. I mean, DeFi right now is popping up. Banks are noticing it. Banks are having to adopt it. There's two theories that you might have. One, they're trying to, again, the banks manipulate the price downwards, trying to make people fearful. Others are saying that no, it's the big guys like the institutions who are getting into crypto that want lower prices to buy cheap. I mean, Michael Saylor just bought a freaking $500 million worth of Bitcoin at like, what was it now? $37,000. Pretty high though still, right? Especially if you consider what the price is at right now. But think about it. These guys most likely have the best analysts in the world, and so many other companies have the best analysts in this world. Most likely, right? Most likely. They have freaking teams of hordes of people who do nothing but look at the chart here. I mean, we look at the chart, but on a different basis, right? Most likely these guys have been doing that for 50 years. Who knows? Not necessarily crypto, but all markets. They've been looking at them and they know their stuff. Because if you're working with that many billions, I must hope that you have some people who know their deal. And I'm thinking those guys most likely knew, okay, $37,000 is a pretty good point to buy Bitcoin right now. Because think about it, there's most likely a really big freaking team there saying, yeah, let's do that. And if they thought that crypto would go down further, they obviously wouldn't have done that. So they thought it was a good price. So why did the price go down further? Man, think about it. Isn't it just fear stacked on top of fear stacked on top of fear? And the conclusion that I would like to draw there is I believe that this price that we're seeing right now, this dip, is not justifiable. You cannot justify this by any fundamental. You can only justify this by people's sentiment, by people's fear. And fear is what takes more fear in. But even if we look at liquidations, the majority of the liquidations today was actually from shorts, because the price went down significantly and came back up. The majority of the people who got their money out were from people that were going short. We saw a really quick comeback up for Bitcoin, most likely because, as I just said, it is not really justifiable how low we are going right now. So what does that tell us? What does that mean? It means that I personally believe any crypto, any altcoin will follow Bitcoin along. But I do not believe that Bitcoin should be at the price where it is right now. And I'm going to say that it is oversold or undervalued right now. It is not good to see the Bitcoin price like this purely because it creates more selling pressure and more fear. However, I would also like to say that it could be that we're going to get some crazy fast recovery from here if we just think logically about it. How are we talking about logic here? Why am I doing that? Because this price, 27,000, 28,000. Who thought it would go there? Almost nobody. You see Robert Kiyosaki talk about 24,000. There's no real backing. This level right here for Bitcoin is an interesting one. Why? Because it's actually one of the only ones that's still justifiable in terms of a support. But that's literally the last kind of straw, last kind of line that we have. Look at this from Bitcoin. You can see the point, well, I can't even pronounce it anymore. The point we hit is kind of the same, almost not perfect, but kind of the same as the one we saw here in January of 2021. So basically we are retesting 2021 January levels. Why? You tell me. It's really hard to justify any good reason. If you're telling me China, no. If you're telling me death cross, well, a death cross is about to happen on the Bitcoin chart here. It has already happened on the SMA, not on the EMA just quite yet. It's about to happen anytime now, in a couple of hours. But even that, is that bad? No. It's only because people think it's bad that it goes bad. But it's a lagging indicator. It doesn't actually tell too much. It just shows you the price is over a little bit of a term. Anything that I've found over the last couple of days, it's only been pointing me into the bullish direction. Yet we're crashing. We're going down. Is it Wyckoff? Is it this? Well, I mean, it doesn't line up perfectly, but some people say, no, this is really what happens. I mean, I'm following it. I'm looking at it, but I don't really believe in it. Why? Because still, it is not poised for that. I mean, Plan B just posted as well that the lowest we'll see at the end of the year is 120,000, something like that. People change their minds significantly because they are scared. Why are people scared? But because other people are scared and the price goes down. The fun fact that you should always understand is that right now, it is safer to buy than a couple of weeks ago. That's fun, huh? It's strange. But that's, again, what the Intelligent Investor, the book says, and almost any investor book will tell you. The lower the price is, the safer it is to buy. Because if you bought right here, well, right now, first of all, your money would have halved. But also, right now, you have a 50% discount in comparison to where you could have bought like 2 months ago, for example. A 50% discount. So from that perspective, at any point here, even though you say, oh, but you're going to go, you have to go with the trend, you have to go with the market. Right now, we're going sideways. It is not even that big of a crash. It might look like it if you only look at the last like week or so. But if you look at the general picture here, it is actually not really a crash if we just recover from here, which there is a good chance for. If we go back up to about $36,000 or so, we are right back at equilibrium, basically, right back to the middle. The death cross will most likely have occurred, but we're right back into it. You can still not say, oh, this has happened. That's we just retested an area from about 2021 January, but that is about it, right? You might even say, no, we're just setting a good bottom in to continue on with this big gain cycle. Because again, the more you zoom out, the more you notice that in the end of things, that's all we're watching. All we're watching here is just, again, a continued on run for Bitcoin. Has the bull run stopped? It depends on how you define bull run. Is every time the price goes up, it goes down a little bit of bull run? Or are we talking about the entire 2017 here being a bull run? Or what? Because one fun theory is that right here, throughout 2017, you might not really notice it right now, but there have been multiple cases where the price went down significantly before coming back up. Like 2016 here, 15 maybe even, the bull run started actually, and the price just kept making higher highs and higher highs. You can see it, right? Higher high, down low, higher high, down low, higher high, down low, higher high, down low, the higher high. It just kept going on for a really long time. The fun fact is that all these highs, sometimes have a consecutive period of lows, or sorry guys, I guess lowerness, whatever, for weeks and weeks upon end. Here, it's 161 days of lower price before another top. Then another couple of weeks of lower price. Here, 189 days before a top. Then here again, you can see a couple of days, not that many, 35 days, a little bit over a month. Here we're seeing again, let's quickly check it out. Here we're seeing about 56 days before another high. It happens so freaking often, even in bull runs here. You cannot deny that this was a bull run. Here it is 63 days before the high gets taken out. Here, let's quickly check it out. Here it gets about 42 days, and that's really the fun of it, the fun behind it. You don't know whether or not you're in an area like this or an area like this if you just look at a couple of downwards candles. Right here, you might have said, oh, no, this is again a bull run. Well, was it really? Was it? Debatable, right? Was this another little bull run? I mean, intermediary, yes. I mean, we went up 400% in a couple of months, 200 days. Then again, we went down for a little while, but you can also say that the bull run actually started here with a big correction. And then again, what happened now? Has the bull run stopped? Are we seeing the same as we saw in 2019? Or is this again just a couple of weeks, for example, let's say about 100 days, maybe even 77 days, maybe 70 days, right? That's, again, not really strange if we compare it to what happened a couple of years ago as well, of downtime before we get another high. I mean, so much is possible. So ridiculously much is possible. It's just really, really hard to say. Because if you look at fundamentals, nothing should have taken the price down. If you look at what's really happening, the price is going down, mostly, my opinion, because of people's fear, on top of fear that is being manipulated because of China, or because some guys want it, because they make a lot of money with shorts. But think about that for a little second. Think about it for yourself. Of course, don't just trust me. Do your own research and buy only if you think it's a proper idea. I am buying the dip and I'll buy lower. That's why I'm never really afraid or worried. But that's what my conclusion is. And I'll see you guys later in another crypto video. All right. So take care.